Hello, I'm here. I am a little late, but I am here. What's poppin', everybody? I am Mrs. Best. Welcome to the channel. As you know, we are here to go over Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, season 13, episode 22, which was politely titled, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Ain't nobody big coming to dinner. I was so annoyed. I thought that something big would happen, but per usual, whenever Rashida is a main point of storylines in an episode, we are not the most entertained. But let's acknowledge our beautiful people who are here, such as Shani. She says hello to myself and to James. She said, and you know it, man. She's the first in here, period. She's always first. Shani don't miss a live. And when she do, she come and she be in the replay chatting it up. Because if y'all comment when I'm not live, I still respond. And Shani has figured that out. Shani, I'm actually going to be DMing you after this live. So be on the lookout on Instagram. But y'all, we are here to go over Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. James was supposed to join me for this live. Unfortunately, he did get called into work for mandatory overtime. So he has to work a 12-hour shift tonight instead of an 8. So we going to lift him up in positivity. So you are stuck with just Mrs. Best tonight. I am sorry to those who may be disappointed, but we still gonna have a time and talk about these people and their ignorance, even though they got money and still moving like they ignorant. That's what we gonna do. I do hope that everybody who is here considers liking the video. If you enjoy what you see or hear, you don't have to like it right now, but if you get 30 minutes into the video and you still here, don't be scared to like it. I would appreciate it. It does help us as creators to get into the algorithm. Also, if you watch a couple of our videos, consider subscribing. If there's something that I don't cover that you want me to cover, let me know. I do take suggestions from everybody. Other than that, I'm thanking everybody and welcoming you all in here. Also, please see the links in the description of this video. There are links to James's channel as well as other great Black creators such as Kiwan JTV, Shayna_MCD, JB Says What, 5X, Miss Kira Speaks, Delightful Dawn, Beloved Reviews, and probably a lot more. If I'm really being honest, probably a whole lot more, but I do like to lift up anybody Black. I think we should do that as Black people, so that's what I'm doing. But yes, y'all, James is at work 3 hours early or 4 hours early, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 4 hours early. Actually, he's at work, but at least he gonna get that overtime, child. The overtime be overtiming, especially when you work that long, it be overtiming. But let's get into this episode, beautiful people. Also, welcome to all of our new subscribers. I'm at 782 now, 18 away from 800. If you like what I do and want to support the channel, let somebody know who's looking for a reality TV commentary to subscribe. But this episode, child, I could see why Love and Hip Hop is going to be dying soon, because it seems like on the MTV one, they like show everyone just kind of living their life and doing a bunch of nothing while, you know, everyone else is doing a lot of something. Let me get my notes up though, because my iPhone just like crashed and I don't know what that's about. Probably because the 17 is out and I still got a 16. I don't know. But we start with Rashida and Kirk. They all go, I believe they went bowling or something. It is some activity, but Rashida, Kirk, Salma Slim, and Kendra, they all meet up. And we haven't seen Rashida in a couple of episodes. So I was kind of like, girl, where have you been? But we know that Rashida's been dealing with her kids. So her son, I think it was Kai, because they name all the kids with K. Okay, and it get difficult to know who's who. But Rashida and Kirk's son, Kai, that they have together, was called over to Kirk's daughter, Kelsey. It's cute that Rashida trying to call Kelsey her daughter, but, you know, I'm not getting into that. But Kai got a call from Kelsey because Kelsey's ex, who was unalived by Kai, have been beating up on Kelsey, serious domestic violence situations and things like that. So Rashida hasn't been on camera a lot, and likely because she has to deal with that, because we don't know what her kids do. I don't know if any of them went to college or have actual day jobs. Seems like they all just kind of, no shade, it seems like her kids do live off of what their parents give them. But basically, Rashida's son at the time of filming is dealing with a case. I know that at the time of filming, the Atlanta DA was trying to decide whether to charge Rashida's son with murder or whether to just see if everything in court plays out as self-defense or something like that. I am not an attorney. I live in California. I'm not in these people's business. I am also not a tabloid reporter. So please don't come at me. If I'm getting little bits wrong, just comment what I'm getting wrong so I can know. But for some reason, Rashida act like she's going through it when really this is Kirk's kid. Your kid's involved, Rashida, yes, but I'm just looking at her like this is not a reason for you not to be around like that. I get wanting to support your family, but okay. But Rashida mentions being invited to the One Music Fest, which is a huge music festival that does happen in Atlanta. I'm assuming this is the Rashida concert that everybody was laughing at online because she was talking about performing and we saw some clips of her performing. Terrible. It is good that Love and Hip Hop came and saved Rashida Frost. And I'm going to tell y'all why, because I'm not just getting at her. When you look at artists that really don't have much talent and are just a pretty face and made bad music that only high schoolers listen to, it doesn't always age well. Look at the Lil Wayne controversy. People are saying his music don't hit the same as it did back when Carter 3 came out and we was young and dumb and in our primes. Like, not everything ages right. Bubblegum, I don't know who's still listening to it. Somebody is still listening to it. But Rashida, I don't care that you've been invited to perform at the music festival. You're from Atlanta. I expect you to be invited to a lot of Atlanta events. But, well, you know, I just didn't care. But Salma Slim taps in to the conversation. And she mentioned she wants to do music and focus on music. And she feels like separating the music from her marriage would be a good thing. I agree with Selma if it was anybody else but Selma. And I'm going to tell y'all why, because this hoe be cheating. I said what I said. I tried to watch my mouth 7 minutes in, but it's just that. It took her a season and a half to admit to cheating on her husband with receipts. We seen text messages, the person you cheated with. We seen Uber receipts. I mean, every receipt that could have receipted was receipting. And it makes me wonder if Selma wanted to get caught cheating, but that's a whole nother topic. But I get that she wants her music to be separate, but you got with a man who's a huge producer, internationally known. I don't think people who watch this show realize how well known and big 24 Hours is. He himself may not have like hella hits, but the hits that he writes and the beats he produces for other people do kind of make him relevant to everything. But just because he's relevant doesn't mean he can direct his wife professionally. Also, Selma, you was cheating on this man. Why would you think he would want to separate from you professionally in an industry where people just nefariously cheat the way I change draws on the regular? Like, it's not, I don't think it's clicking. Like, honey, you did something wrong. Your husband doesn't trust you. This is not the time. But, you know, Selma lives in her land of delusion, and 24 steps in and he feels like that's not the move and feels like someone new could come in and revert all of the work that he has put into her career, which he got her on a show. I'm pretty sure he don't need the show or want to be on it. He got her on a show. Her name is being known. She's got hella good features with big artists when we saw her showcase. So I'm kind of looking at Selma like, I get that you having problems with your man right now, girl, but it sounds like he's helped your career a lot. And now that you've come up, you want to switch to somebody else because y'all having problems because you couldn't keep your legs closed as a married woman. So I just feel like Selma needs to be a little more accountable. But y'all let me know how y'all feel who are watching. Shout out to the replay gang as well. Let me know how y'all feel, because I do feel like it's a lot with Selma and they need to just take things in steps and probably see a counselor, get to the mosque, whatever they got to do. They need to do it. Kendra agrees at the end of this scene. Kendra's like, Joshua is having a birthday party and he want all of his kids to be there and their mom. So, you know, I'ma agree to let him have his baby mama at the event. Kendra, you sound stupid, but I'm going to save my opinion on Kendra. Let me tell women something, whether you have kids or don't. If you get with a man who has kids and he has kids with different women, if the kids are under 18, baby, you got to deal with the woman. You just do. That's how it goes. And if you don't want to do that, Kendra, then you shouldn't have gotten with the man who had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 kids by 5 different women. Kendra, you had no choice but to let the girl come to the event. But before we move into the next scene, y'all, because that scene took up more than I thought it would, let's get into these hot ass comments. Let me see. Kendra, if you and Jock were on a break, how is Gloria going to know that you two were together? Thank you. Thank you. Unless you're married, no one has any way to know if you are with the person on a break, on timeout, or whatever the fuck y'all doing. Y'all need to stop with these situationships. That's what really needs to stop. They never end well. They never end well. They just don't. Well, mine ended well, but usually they don't. I did marry my situationship while on a break from an ex. I know that's not conventional, but Mrs. Best is accountable, okay? And it worked out for me. Let me see here. Shady said, have we missed the Rashida and Kirk this past episode? We have not missed them. I have not missed Rashida and Kirk on TV at all. I'm not going to lie. I think them being gone so many episodes proves they're not needed for Love and Hip Hop to do good. And I honestly, people may disagree with me on this. Rashida and Kirk are only relevant because of how stupid they look in their marriage. They have literally become the example of what not to do in a relationship or a marriage. Literally. They're the example of settling, cheating, making babies. Like, their marriage is a joke. They may be successful business-wise. I don't want to take away other accolades from Rashida and Kirk, but their marriage is a fucking joke. And I've been married and with the same person now for almost 20 years. And I will say over and over until I am blue in the face, their marriage is a joke. They are not needed on this cast. And they will never be the matriarch and patriarchs that they want to be, because your marriage has to be respected in order for you to be that. And that's on Kirk. That's on him. Told you before, twin, I don't know no Rashida songs. I only know one Rashida song. It is called Bubblegum. And the only reason I know it is because of James and some girls at my high school. As quiet as it's kept, James loved that Bubblegum song. He did. My partner Leona loved it. And a couple of my friend Candy from back in the day, she used to love it. Like, we were in high school when Bubblegum came out, graduating high school and stuff. And I always thought the beat sucked and that it was terrible, but people liked it. I mean, we danced to it at a party, but you can't even do much but that. It's an odd song. She said, like a CVS receipt. The receipts on Salma was longer than the CVS receipt. Okay. Salma just be lying. She said, I don't care about 700 pounds. If I hear this man breathe one more time when he's just sitting there still, I'm gonna go crazy. Mind y'all, I'm bronchial and asthmatic my whole life and have allergies so bad I need allergy shots. And you don't see me breathing as hard as 24. Help him. Sleep apnea, all sorts of shit going on. Me and my son's brother's mother got along just fine since day one. She's always been and will always be my other baby mama. That's how it should be. What is the reason? Once you done with the man, kid or not, a woman that's truly done with the man ain't worried about the next one having a baby with him, ain't worried. Look at Bambi. Look at Bambi. Bambi meeting up with scrap sexes and everything. Because when you truly done with the nigga, you don't care. You don't care about the child support, even if you want it and need it. You don't care about seeing him. You don't care if he's breathing. You don't care beyond the capacity for your kids. How could you? Shani said, remember how she told Yandy last season that she was Atlanta and this was her motherfucking show? Looked like the show is just fine without you. And it's canceling. Talk about you, Atlanta, but you can't keep a show about Atlanta on TV. And they called K. Michelle, who's not from Atlanta, to be on the Housewives of Atlanta instead of Rashida, who has some slight ties to the people on that show. So she ain't that freaking Atlanta. She can't go. Rashida can't do TV or do anything anywhere, in my opinion, without people like knowing about her marriage and that being a joke. And then she's affiliated with Love and Hip Hop, which is kind of like Zeus. Like, people watch it, but it's frowned upon. And no shade, you know, a certain demographic of niggas watches that stuff. That's kind of what comes with Rashida, but it is what it is. She said it's not breathing, twin. It's snoring while he's awake. Shady, that is a form of breathing. I am hollering, though. The way Shady do not let her foot off 24's neck, okay? And I don't blame her. There's not a lot of space. We're going to move forward into Brittany and Bambi's conversation. Another shout out to our replay gang. We thank y'all for watching when we're not live no more. But Bambi and Brittany meet up. And we had saw at the very beginning of the episode, Brittany, she's so pretty in the face. It's unfortunate. The prettiest girls get with the worst men. But Bambi and Brittany meet, and Brittany explains the situation that we saw last week with Shakira and how Shakira didn't just unleash the clip. Okay, she reloaded and then unleashed that clip, reloaded again, unleashed that clip, and then had her sniper hit it in the bushes to clip them motherfuckers some more. Okay, Shakira came prepared. She waited her whole life for the moment. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Girls that get pregnant the way Shakira did, I still don't have much empathy for her, but it was funny as hell the way that she printed out every text message between them and then blew it up real big in case Brittany wore glasses like me and couldn't see. She did. She said she came with a rat-a-tat-tat-tat. Sure in the hell did. It was funny. But, you know, Shakira's situation is explained to Bambi from Brittany. And I'm like, well, why is Brittany going to his ex-wife who she just met to explain what's going on with the new baby mama that came after the ex-wife? Like, what that is? What's that about? Turns out that Brittany is now questioning everything with Bambi because she's realized that she can't trust nothing Scrappy says, which she should have realized when she got with him. And it comes out, Bambi pretty much lets her know, like, he talks about wanting to get back together. He has gotten inappropriate with me. And Bambi was trying to, like, not tell her everything. Because you could tell, like, Bambi, we could say what we want to say about Bambi, but I do think she's learned her lesson from being the side chick that turned into the wife. I do think that Bambi has learned that lesson. I think that she is matured. We have to remember, Bambi is much older than a lot of these people anyway that Scrappy is talking to and dating. But she lets her know, like, Scrappy's texting Bambi talking about, man, we could just take our babies and leave the country. I said, not take your kids and leave the country. And go where, Scrappy? And do what? I'm like, go where and do what, Mr. Scrappy? And he's also texted Bambi talking about he want to get back together with her. All the stuff that we already knew he was texting Bambi because Bambi looked good. And Bambi tried to stick beside him, and I can't blame her. I can't blame him for wanting her back. I just cannot. They say the ones they marry, them the ones that really count. When somebody got paperwork on you, sorry to inform every baby daddy and baby mama out there, but paperwork run deeper than that, baby child. That means they want to be legally bound to you, okay? Legally. And he gave that to Bambi, but he didn't give it to nobody else. So I always say, I think he'll always have a little bit of a thing or some feelings towards Bambi. But Brittany, you know, she's acted surprised hearing this information from Bambi. And my thing is, Brittany, you know better. How many times can we say this? When you got with Scrappy, he had done Diamond wrong, cheated on Diamond with Erica, cheated on Erica with Bambi, cheated on Bambi with God knows who. Like, Scrappy cheats on every single female that he's with. He don't raise his kids. I'm tired of the Black community making it seem like Little Scrappy is the greatest father. No, Little Scrappy gets away with shit because he is a male. Erica went through hell on TV for over 7 years with this man not wanting to pay child support, not coming to pick up the baby. And when he do pick up the kids, we learn from Erica Dixon, from Shakira, and from Bambi that somebody else ends up watching them. So Scrappy ain't all of that. And I'm looking at Brittany like, you knew all of this ahead of time. The world knew. You still chose to date him. And then Bambi felt it was weird that Brittany had no emotions. And I feel like Bambi gonna go look into that. But why are you looking into that, Bambi, if you're done with him? So it was a weird situation. I kind of walked out after watching that scene with Brittany and Bambi. I kind of feel like they both still kind of want Scrappy in some ways. Like, I know a lot of people may not see it that way, but I'm like, Bambi, why do you care how this woman reacts to hearing certain things about this man? Like, the whole situation is weird. And if she's telling you they on the outs, like, I would just be wondering, like, okay, are y'all going to get back together? Like, what are we doing? Like, are my kids going to be around you? What's good? That's what should have been discussed. But instead, they talked about this other stuff. But I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Brittany should have knew better. Scrappy ain't never going to grow up. They ain't never going to grow up. She said she came with a hood binder. Sure did. She had her Lisa Frank folder. If you know, you know. And she printed out everything. She said, girl, have you never watched one episode of this show with Scrappy and now you realize you can't trust nothing he say? Right. Scrappy, his auntie had to come in and tell him, like, hey, you know, if you have a house, you got to pay the bills there. Like, Scrappy is a child in a man's body. Mama D failed with that baby. I could hear him saying some stupid shit like that, probably texted at her and calling her while he was drunk and high. Something Bambi said that connected to why Scrappy probably did say that too. She was like, he probably hitting me up when he's having a bad time or in a bad place with you. And that's what Scrappy does. Like, some men move like that. Like, oh, this one I'm arguing with, that means I got to go call this other girl. Like, no, you're just going to end up talking to girls constantly and never finding no one to deal with you, because problems happen. It's how you solve them. That's how you know what you got. Shady said, yep, out of all these baby mamas and all of these supposed loves of his lives, and she's the only one he wiped up. He didn't even propose to Diamond. He proposed to Erica Dixon, but only after a lot had went down for him, and I don't feel like he felt he had anyone else to turn to. I know a lot of people think him and Erica will always be in love. I don't think that, because even the way they got together was wrong. But it seems like Bambi's the one that he really tried to work stuff through with. Shani said, just because he posts once a week on Instagram with the kids don't mean that he's present and a good father. You better say it louder, Shani. Because a lot of people, I think the newer generation and some of the older generation that think they're young, I don't think people understand how social media impacts life. You cannot believe everything you see on social media. You got to fact check social media like you in college, citing your source and fact checking to avoid plagiarism, because people will post their life as one way. I remember some girl from my high school who I hadn't kicked it with in years was like, oh my God, Anita, let's hang out. Went and hung out with her on social media. I'm like, girl, you taking trips, hair's done, shopping, constantly just together, living your life, spending money. This bitch was on Section 8, living in the projects at Acorn here in Oakland, okay, in the high rise, the worst parts of it at that, driving a car with a flashing check engine light. But we made it all around the Bay Area in that car, sure did. So maybe I need to buy one. Hell, but people be painting one thing on social media and living another way. And I feel like I see this a lot with parents. No shade to anybody who follows me and knows me in my personal life, but I see a lot of people who I know for a fact do not be around their kids, want to drink every fucking day, every weekend, will leave their kids to go on vacations and stuff, but post like, I'm taking them to their practice and I'm doing this, and it ain't even like that. So you can't trust what you see on social media, and Scrap's a good example of that. Shani said he never gonna grow up, not as long as his name is Little Scrap. Notice every artist who had the Lil to their rap name from back in the day ain't shit today and we laugh at. No shade. Lil Bow Wow, he's successful and is a living legend. However, Lil Bow Wow was smart enough to drop the Lil from his name, but he started as Lil Bow Wow. And if you watched him on Growing Up Hip Hop or any other reality show, you know how he moved with women is dumb. Lil Zane is a complete buffoon, an actual buffoon. It just seems like if Lil was at the front of your name, you may not be the best in relationships. She said, fact check like you would start. Yes. Yes, Shani. Yes. Welcome in to the people who are just journeying and dropping in. We are just talking about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments, even if your thought is offensive. If it's about the cast, I don't care. Share it. I want to know. I like to laugh. But let's get back into the episode, because I do get the feeling that Bambi, we're going to see more about this Britney situation, because there's been some rumors and some stuff coming out on the curb about Britney as well. And they say birds of a feather flock together. You are what you attract. So if you attract a man like Scrappy, you might not be shit either, because I'm just saying. Shani said, well, Little Bow Wow was little when he started. So he was little. I just saw Bow Wow at the Boys for Life tour a couple of weeks ago. He was singing songs from the year 2000, that Little Bow Wow, you just don't know the way you move so fast. I was like, oh my God, he's so little. But when I was a little girl, I was like, oh my God, I loved it. Now I'm looking, I'm like, that's a full grown man. That's a full man. She said, we don't give a care over here. We like shade. We like the jokes. We sure do. We sure do. Absolutely. Um, who is next in this episode? Zane and not Zane. I done took the doggone note incorrectly. Kendra is going to be having a family dinner for young Jock and all of his kids, as well as all of his baby daddy, or not baby dad. Oh, Lord, not his baby daddies. I'm sorry, Jock. All of his kids, as well as the mothers, are going to be there. Now, Jock obviously has a good relationship with women when he breaks up with them. Now, I remember Xena being on the season years ago. James won't let us forget that Color Me Pink calls her grandma Jaws, and I now see why after seeing Cena come back on the show. But Cena, we see Cena. What was there? I think Cena, Yvette, the first one, Amani's mom. There was the one he was married to, and then the new hooker who had his baby. And I'm calling her that for a reason. For a reason. But he had all the baby mamas there. I thought that was a little strange. I think it's nice. I understand the ex-wife being there. Jock was married to her for a very long time. I believe when he first came on to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, he was like just then divorcing the first wife. I understand her being there. They was together for 13 years or something, and then they had 3 kids, and she was also with him when he first got the height of his fame and career and things like that. The first baby mama, the first child, I get why she would be there too, and I'm sure she's just removed and done. The baby mama, Cena and Gloria, I understand why they were there. They have young kids, and the one who has his second set of twins are there. Them twins was God's way of trying to tell Jock to put on a condom, because he had 2 sets of twins back to back with 2 different women and still did not think, gosh, I should put on a condom. Still didn't think that. Which is crazy. But everybody gets together for the dinner. And when Jock pulled out that poster board of the family tree, I said, this is not, I get that he is trying to be funny. And it was kind of like, but it's really not funny. Like it actually shows a lack of responsibility. Let's keep in mind, there are a lot of people out there who have this many baby mamas like it's just a thing to do, that do not have Jock's income. How are you paying for these kids? Like, y'all need to wrap it up. Y'all need to really wrap it up. Like, at this point, they need to make a law or something. If a nigga who already got 6 baby mamas comes and impregnates you, now he got to pay you child support. Like, it needs to be something. I don't know. I just cannot. Not Grandma Jaws. I'm trying to tell you. It was a lot going on with Cena. But she's living her life. And she's doing okay, and she's raising the kids. But at the table, everyone's sitting there, and everything goes well until Gloria comes in. Gloria came in with a funky ass attitude. And my thing, Gloria, why do you have an attitude? What the fuck did you expect to get praised? You had a baby with him while he was on a break from his fiance. Why would you even sleep with a nigga unprotected without you on birth control or none of that? Or why wouldn't you go get a plan B the morning after for a man who is sleeping with you, but was just publicly on television getting ready to marry Kendra? So what I'm trying to say is, while Kendra's a fool, I'm going to get to her in a moment, Gloria, fix your funky ass attitude, because everybody is here trying to have good time. Everybody was at Jock's stuff trying to basically be family for the kids and things like that. And Gloria walked in with an attitude. And she does look like an old ass thought. No shade. She looked like an old ass baddie. She just does. Like, she don't make good decisions. And I think she thought that having Jock's baby or something would work out, or I don't know what this girl thought, but you had a baby by a nigga who was on a break with somebody else, so you couldn't have been that important. So Gloria could have fixed her attitude. Kendra says she is not happy, though. Before Gloria got there, Kendra pissed me off because she was like, I'm not happy to sit at the table with a whore. It's like, Kendra, why are you downing this other woman for what your man did? At the end of the day, even though Gloria should not have allowed herself to get pregnant by Jock, considering the circumstance and that she wasn't in a relationship with him, that should be the ding dong, don't get pregnant. But separate from that, you don't have to just call this woman a whore. You just don't. your problem is with your husband, not with Gloria. And you chose to accept his discretions, accept his child, and marry him. So you don't get to then continue to talk about the baby mama. Like, that's crazy to me. It doesn't make any sense. And your wig look crazy, Kendra. You wear too much makeup, but I get you got to do what you can, because without the makeup, I don't want to see it. Sorry. No, that is shade. Okay, that's shade. But, you know, have y'all seen her without makeup? She needs to keep that shit on. But Gloria walks in, and I'm like, maybe Kendra don't like Gloria. No shade, because Gloria, maybe it's like a looks thing. Maybe Kendra feels like Gloria looks better than her. Maybe Jock has said something crazy about Gloria to Kendra. Who knows? But Kendra announces to everybody at the table, all the adults and stuff, she announces that she is going to be making more of an effort to attend family gatherings. And that's where we learn from Cena and the other baby mama tribe and his ex-wife, because we're going to respect the ex-wife. But that's what we learned from the baby mama tribe and ex-wife, that Kendra doesn't come to family gatherings. So Jock is like very big on family, which I understand. One thing about the South, they are big on family. I think sometimes it can be detrimental to them, but for the most part, I think it's a beautiful thing. So even though Jock has all these different baby mamas, he's still making the effort to try and have his kids to know each other, and for the baby mamas and stuff to be around each other, which it seems like for the most part, they're all okay. But then Kendra, why have you not been going? Now, I understand I don't agree with Kendra's attitude and takes towards Jock's newest baby mama, Gloria, but I understand why she might not want to be at a gathering while she's there, because it's like, damn, you fucked my man the moment you could when you knew that we were publicly together. Like, what was that about? So I can understand that part. But for the other baby mamas, why are you not attending family gatherings? Here's the thing for women who do not have kids, and I'm a woman who does not have kids. If you're going to go and be with somebody who has kids, you can't expect to be around those kids and say that you love their kids while calling the mother of that kid a whore. It doesn't work that way. It just does not work that way, Kendra. And you're a damn Juris Doctor. You should know better. But obviously you stupid and dingy when it comes to men. Child. But Kendra, get your ass to them family gatherings. You should have been shown up, and it's ridiculous that you don't. Especially if it's because of trust or insecurity. Like, just get along with them. Who cares? You have what they don't, the ability to walk away without being stuck to Jock. Okay? So I don't understand it. But I also feel like Kendra has a problem with the fact that, I don't know, Kendra's up and down with the kid thing, but we'll come back to that later. But she talks with Gloria, and Gloria lets Kendra know that, well, Kendra lets Gloria know. She's like, I love your child. Regardless, I'll always be respectful. And Gloria kind of looks at her and is like, well, I would expect that, because you don't have to love a child or know a child to respect and behave like an adult with common sense in front of them. And I feel like that's what Gloria was trying to say. But Gloria basically gets upset, and they talk, and Kendra refers to how they made their baby in a drunken night. And Gloria is like, I'm getting tired of her saying that it was a drunken night, because it wasn't. And it's like, bitch, what was it? You weren't his girlfriend. Y'all couldn't have been in a situationship. And if you do admit to being in a situationship, Gloria, then you are a fucking nasty whore. And the reason why is because he was engaged and with Kendra prior. They said they was only on a break for like a month or something. So you swooped in and got pregnant in just a month, and you're mad that she's calling you a drunken night. Jock, the man who slept with you, who put his tillywhacker into your hole, he himself is saying he had been drinking a lot, and that's what made him sleep with you. So Kendra's like, that's what I was told. Which I always look at these side bitches, and I'd be like, y'all love to come for the main ones because you can't be one. But did it never occur to Gloria that Jock may have told Kendra that it was a drunken night? And Kendra, why would you believe that shit? The man drinks all the time. If somebody who drinks all the time comes to me and is like, I had a drunken night, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. I'd tell Mr. Best, please take me to the Renee C. Davidson courthouse, the one that looks over the court, the Lake Merritt in Oakland, and you gonna take me back to where you got me from. We we've got our marriage license here. We're gonna also dissolve this bitch here. Like, nobody's gonna play like that. But Jock said it wasn't a drunken night. Or Jock says it was a drunken night. And Kendra's like, this is what I was told. And Jock admits, like, I was drinking. There's drinking involved. And Gloria gets up mad and walks away. Gloria, why did you come to Jock's birthday party with the kids and the baby mamas dressed in a dress that you would wear to the nightclub or to climb the pole? I don't trust this Gloria chick. I'm starting to see why Kendra has problems with her. But at the same time, I also don't feel like Kendra should have a problem with her. But you know, what can we do? But Gloria walks away because she's mad. And I'm like, what was it? The only question I have when she walked away is like, girl, if it wasn't a drunken night, then baby girl, please tell us what it was. But I think that if Gloria tells us what it was, it will be problematic for her. Oh my God. I'm trying to talk to my husband about food, y'all. My apologies. He's responding slow. We're going to move forward though. I'm going to get into the comments as well. Cause that was a lot with, that was just a lot with Kendra and them. I'm looking at Gloria like, girl, why did you walk away? Where are you walking to? Are you leaving? Did the baby show up? Like, huh? Are the residuals from is going down? Are the residuals from is going down that good? No. I promise you the residuals from It's Going Down are not that good. I promise you they're not. I feel like that song has done well, but I feel like most of Jock's songs that are more popular are the ones that he had features on, like T-Pain's song. Like when we saw him, he was performing a bunch of features. He don't really have like, he has It's Going Down, that one hit, but other than that, features. She said, without an HIV test showing me at least 1 year of cleanliness, I'm not having unprotected intercourse with you, dude. Preach. This new generation is nasty as hell. And like the way people move now in sex, it's gross. Like there's no reason that. That's the thing, Gloria. We have questions for you, but you know, she ain't gonna answer them. She ran off. Why she gotta be a whore when she got one baby, but your husband has 5 baby mamas? Exactly. Women always get called whores, but a nigga with 5 baby mamas is a nastier whore than a woman who just sleeping around or getting pregnant by a guy like him. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I don't agree with how Gloria had her baby. I think she's a thirsty ass pick-me that thought she would get a check. That's what she's giving so far. And if she's like, it wasn't a drunken night, we mattered to each other, then that means he cheated on his wife and you knew that and you still ain't shit. So it's like she don't gotta be a whore, but Jock is a whore also. It's just a fact. And let's call a spade a spade. All these women are sleeping with Jock because of what he has in his name. Look at the baby mamas. You could tell based on how, no shade, you could tell based on looking at the baby mamas, you could see how his money afforded him with a different type of bitch. And unfortunately, the more money you make, you may find a bitch that may aesthetically look perfect, but you're not going to find a female with substance that'll stick beside you, that'll want you, or that'll bring you anything but a headache. So it is what it is. Shady says, I think Gloria was mad because this is the first family dinner that she's been invited to. Well, then close your legs to married and unavailable men, Gloria. Or, Gloria, you should have made a bigger effort and DM Kendra on your own. But I don't think Gloria wants to reach out and talk to Kendra on her own. I feel like she'll only do it around Jock because I don't know why, but I felt like Gloria wanted to say more but didn't to protect Jock. Fuck that. Let them meet. Pull a Britney and Shakira. I want all of it aired out because other than that, no shade to Gloria. I don't care. You're just baby mama number 6 and you're nothing special. I'm sorry. You had his kid. Good for you. But what does Gloria want? An award to be invited everywhere? You just a baby mama. That's what a lot of people don't realize when that's part of the thing of getting married and having kids. A lot of people like to equate it to religion and stuff like that. But sometimes it just makes life easier in handling things, especially like invites and things like that. Like if me and my husband were to have a baby and me and him were to divorce, I'd still be at family events and stuff, and that would be what it is. But when you have a man who is in a situation with somebody like Gloria just look a little different. It just do. After 5 years, you can't get over it now, especially if you're still with that man. That's the truth. Dissolved over a sunset over that lake. I'm trying to, it's like you knew that courthouse, Shani. It has a beautiful sunset over the lake. It really does. It's the perfect place to get a divorce. You can reflect and throw things into the water of theirs. Gloria, if you want to act funny when you're invited to family dinners, then you don't need to come no more. Exactly. I'm like, bitch, you finally get invited somewhere and this how you act? This how you act? Shady says, what up, Brother Joe? I don't think he can hear us right now, but I hear him smacking. He is eating some Jamaican food and it smells really good. I'm going to eat it after this, though. Shady said, those are just the 5 he got pregnant. Who knows how many women he done dipped in without protection. Right. That's a good point, Shady, because it's actually very hard to get pregnant. That's where the terminology of babies are blessings come from. So for him to have gotten so many people pregnant and have 2 sets of twins, he had to have been dipping his pencil stick into all sorts of places. He had to. He absolutely had to. And they showed some scenes with, what was her name? Kadia. She passed away from years and years ago. Jock's been a hoe. Child, Jock's been a hoe. As quiet as it's kept, I feel like Jock would have done better with Carly. I don't feel like Kendra is the person for him or who he should have stayed with, but I'll digress. And Ashley and Zane being at this dinner was so random. I think the cast is just trying to incorporate them. I don't like Ashley. I don't like Zane. They don't give anything to the show. They're annoying, and I feel like their storylines are fake and they're washed up and they're just trying to come up because he probably ran through his money giving it to his nasty ass mama. So it is what it is. Now, the next thing we move into is Bambi. She ends up meeting up with Jessica White. Jessica White something is wrong with her. Jessica White's dating this guy. I think his name is Jason. He's from the Bay Area, business guy. For those who don't know, the Bay Area, land of billionaires. Everyone thinks LA is where all the stars are. Honey, the real money is up here. Okay. Look up Tiburon. Look up Black Hawk. Okay. We have one of the highest concentrations of billionaires residing here in the Bay Area. Part of what's wrong with here, but that's another topic. We're not going to get into politics and local, issues, but she's dating a man from the Bay, and she has Bambi come by, and she has her man go get Bambi because she's like, I want him to meet Bambi. And I'm like, Jessica, you got real close with Bambi. You were close with Carly, and you hated on Carly for no freaking reason. I don't like Jessica the way she moves with her friends. I feel like she just finds a new friend to be close to each year, when it's like, you should just have your people. It says something about you when you don't. But she tells Bambi she's pregnant, that little ass bump. And she also tells Bambi she's high risk and now she's not supposed to be traveling, things like that. And she's like, she's so happy to see a friend. She missed it. For whatever reason, Bambi kind of painted Jessica's man as controlling. I do not think he's controlling. I think this is why Bambi is divorced. There are a lot of successful women that still submit. I'm one of them. There are a lot of successful women who view their spouse committing to them and submission as being controlled. And until those women go to therapy and get a good example of a relationship, they're not going to get it because some people be bullheaded. But I do not think that Jessica's man came off as being controlling. I think that he came off as a man who has a pregnant female that he is with, mother of his child, who he knows this woman has a history of losing babies, ending up in the hospital, fibroids and health stuff. He's trying to keep her safe. The pressure that you experience, the pressure change that you experience when you go into an airplane is not safe for pregnant women, even when they are not high risk. So it is smart for Jessica, who is extremely high risk, to not be flying, especially if they're telling you to be on bed rest. Get rid of Jessica White from this show. She obviously lives in New York and does not live in Atlanta. She should have went on Love and Hip Hop New York. She should not have went here. I know Love and Hip Hop New York is not a thing, but I feel like Jessica should have sat this season out and was doing too much. Bambi was kind of tripping. Ain't nobody holding her hostage. So I thought the whole scene was a little weird. I'm also still kind of baffled by Bambi and Jessica's relationship because it seems like they're only close because at the time they got close, Jessica and Bambi were both having problems with Carly. But now they not so more. So I'm kind of looking at it like, huh? But I guess Jessica's pregnant. Good for her. We know that the pregnancy did not hold, but I know she's still with her husband and things like that. So, good for her. Shani said, just because you can submit to your husband from time to time, I don't think that makes you submissive. I mean, that literally is what would make you submissive, though, Shani. If you submit for them from time to time, it does make you submissive. I think people view submission as like agreeing to every little thing they say, agreeing to every little thing they want. And it's not that. Sometimes submission is just considering the opinion of your partner and hearing them out. But I notice a lot of people that are single or struggle or have divorced a bunch of times have the viewpoint of Bambi and Jessica, you know what I mean? And then I guess people will know when they find a person, or they just gonna be alone. Shit, because I don't know. She shouldn't have said anything about that baby until she popped it out and stayed off for this show. I fully agree with that. If I am high risk and went through the things that Jessica went through and then finally got pregnant, I would not be on television. I know people say you should be able to share your joy. You should, but the letdown, and we know she wasn't able to hold this pregnancy, and I feel like the letdown from that could have stung Jessica harder because she announced it. This is why some people don't announce their pregnancy. Like Tamara Mowry, one of those twins, when she got pregnant by her Trump supporting white man she's with, I'm never letting nobody forget that. But when she got pregnant by him, she didn't think she'd get pregnant and was afraid. So she kept it a secret from everybody until I think like her second or third trimester. Some people do that. Look at Big Lotto. Her dumbass got pregnant by a married man that she has a secret relationship with. But I digress there. But I mean, she kept it a secret. She just revealed to the world that she's pregnant, and she's 8 months pregnant. That baby's about to come out. So I think that's the safest way to do it. Like if I ever get pregnant, no one would know until I would need to be at least 7 months. I need to be at the point where I can deliver my child if something goes wrong and they still be able to live, if that makes sense, have a shot. But I do wish Jessica the best. You could tell she wants to be a mom. And I feel like her being a mother might calm her down a little bit, but she has to continue in therapy and address the things that made her be okay with settling for a man like Nick Cannon and trying to have a baby in that situation as well. Because it seemed like she just let herself get pregnant by whoever she's with. And I get that she wants motherhood and it matters. I would love nothing more than become a mother, but you have to do it in the right time if you can, and with the right person at the very least. And she don't know this man like that, but now they got time to get to know each other. Let's take an opportunity, y'all, to shout out our new subscribers and remind everyone who hasn't already consider liking the video. I do appreciate you. It's an easy way to get us into the algorithm. Thank you also to all the new people who have subscribed. Just last week, at the beginning of last week, I was only at 769. Now I'm at 782. I'm on the road to 1,000 and on the road to monetization. And because of everyone that watches my channel, I am close. So I really do appreciate all of y'all. I really do. If I ever make it big in YouTube, I'm going to have an event and we just all go eat. I love it. Because eating is the way that togetherness happens, right? Who is next? So Spice has an event. I don't know what the event was for. Probably for some sort of music or something, knowing Spice. But at this event, 24 Hours is there with Selma Slim. He sees Carly Red. Now, the last time Carly Red was there, she was trying to calm Selma and her husband down because he had just got into it with Sierra and her Onyx reject of a ex-husband, Zay. And he was like, my anger got the best of me. I've had some men angry at me. They ain't never called me no hoe, no bitch. I have a feeling the way 24 spoke to Carly is the way that he speaks to Selma at home when the cameras are gone and he's upset. And nobody could make me change my mind. Part of the reason I don't practice Islam anymore is because you learn things about the men in Islam. They can be controlling and think they have the right to talk to you however the fuck they want. And 24 gives that. He does give that. Because nothing Carly said or did warranted him coming at her like that. And yes, Carly Red was known as messy, but she's older now and ain't trying to be with all that. So I was happy to see him apologize. I felt like that's the least you could do with your big ass. I'm so tired of him. If he says one more time, we locked in, you ain't that locked in. Your bitch is sneaking out the house catching Ubers to go sit on somebody else's dick. And the bitch didn't even care to make a default account or to do anything to hide it from you. And it makes it even worse. I just thought about this just now in this moment on the live. 24 hours. You have a wife that is just cheating and cheating and cheating and cheating. And you said that you provide for her financially. You paying the bitch rent, her hair, her nails, the food she cooked, the electric bill. I know in other states, y'all don't, in California, our electric and gas bills are one. But the gas bill, the electric bill, the water bill, I mean, he's paying all of her bills and affording her a lifestyle, helping her with her career. And she's sneaking off in Ubers to go sit on Zay, or Zay's brother. So obviously 24, y'all not that locked in. Okay? Y'all not that locked in, because when my man is asleep, I'm in the bed right next to him. When he goes somewhere or has traveled for work or to see his friends, I'm at home in my bed or with my friends. He knows where I'm at. I'm not sticking out at Ubers. Like, 24, be mad at your wife. Do not be mad at anyone else. And I feel like Selma did this too, trying to blame Sierra for her actions. Y'all problem is with each other and nobody else. But their marriage is kind of a joke. It's a shame this is the last season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, because I would have liked to see 24 and Selma's relationship play out. I feel like Zayn and Ashley were added to the show and they kind of tried to be the Stevie J, scrappy, young jock, like just the ain't shit niggas who cheat and stuff, but they're not interesting and disingenuous. 24 and Selma actually do have issues and they are interesting, from religion to where they're from, to how they met, to how they live their life, to careers. They are interesting. So I wish production would have leaned into them instead of adding Zayn and Ashley's annoying bird ass. That's just my little rant. But before I go on, I hate to ignore a comment. Let me get Shani's comment. I appreciate you, my sister Shani. She said, just because you didn't push that baby out doesn't mean that you're not a mom. If you get a baby by other means, there's so many kids out there who need homes. That's the truth. I actually believe in adoption. If my husband comes to me and is like, let's build a family, or if when I finish my master's degree, I'm like, I don't know what to do with this money, child, then I would consider adopting. I would consider adopting, because I think there are a lot of specifically African-American kids that don't get adopted as much. And I would love to do that for a child, but I'm giving myself till 40, Shani. If I don't push out a baby by 40, I'm not pushing one out. I'm going to go adopt someone's kid or become a foster parent if I really need to be it. But I'm also okay with not having kids because I raised my siblings. So there is that. Zay and his brother both looking alike an Onyx reject from the 90s, and the other one looking like a Lost Boys reject from the 90s. Fake ass, freaky ass. I cannot with Shani's comments. I cannot, Shani. Oh my goodness, y'all. We are almost through this episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We then see Rashida and Carly Red talk at this event. Rashida came outside and was doing okay. She's talking with Carly and Spice, and Rashida acts like the messy bitch that she is and a hateful person. And Rashida wants empathy from the audience and her friends when she don't give it to nobody else. Rashida is upset because she says, you know, Spice, you really surrounded me. You and Spice are close, Rashida. Of course she surrounded you. And you're going to stay close with Spice, Rashida, because Spice is a real celebrity. And the only reason you're relevant today is not because of bubblegum, but because your husband doesn't know how to keep his dick in his pants and added his side chick and mistress to a show with you. While you're sitting up here thinking anybody owe you something. But Rashida says that Spice checked on her. She says Sierra checked on her. And she was like, Carly, you didn't really check on me till last week. And I'm like, are we really going to do this? So if you're so busy and concerned with your kids that you can't film, why are you yelling at a person who had checked on you? Now, I understand Carly may have checked on her recently, but she checked on you. Why are you mad? I'm sure there's people on this cast who did not check on you at all. And if they did, you probably know they're only checking on you because they want tea. But you're going to get it, Carly? I'm not mad at Carly for not checking on Rashida. Let's go back to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 1. Rashida is a nasty, mean-spirited bitch that makes Geminis look bad. I said what I said. When K. Michelle did her event and was in tears speaking about the abuse that she dealt with from Memphis Wright, aka Toya Wright, Rashida's best friend's ex-husband. Rashida told Kay that she was lying and didn't believe what happened. Years later, we got receipts, proof. Memphis has admitted it. And then he went and did the same thing to Toya. Rashida stood on it and was like, I'm never paying attention to Kay, apologizing to Kay Michelle for that domestic violence, saying that she deserved it and she couldn't believe it. Then Rashida, you used to call Carly Red messy and laugh at her for the stuff that she went through on this show. It perpetuated a lot of drama and bullshit. Then Rashida, you acted like for the longest time you couldn't talk to Jasmine and had no empathy for her being a mother because she slept with your husband. Then Rashida, you talk about Sierra checked on you and you appreciated it, but you lucky that bitch checked on you because when she had her situation with her tattoo, you barely checked on her there and she spoke about how disappointed she was. Shall we continue the list of people that Rashida has been an absolute evil person towards? Listen, my worst enemy, certain things I would not wish on them, and domestic violence is one of them. It's bitches I don't have to square up with and fight, but I would never wish for their man to be whooping on them. Rashida did. Now your daughter, Kelsey, your stepdaughter, was getting her ass beat by that man who Rashida's son unalived. And I'm wondering if Kelsey called her brother instead of calling her dad or Rashida, because Rashida has publicly been known to not be supportive of domestic violence victims. And as a woman, that is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So I'm looking at Rashida and I'm like, but you want to get at Carly? What about people who felt like you weren't sympathetic and tried to confront you about it? Rashida does what she's always done on this show because she's a weak bitch. She gets in people's face, says her piece, and then when they call her out and catch her in some shit and prove that she's wrong, she runs out of there. Which is what she did with Carly. She's talking to Carly, and Carly's like, well, I didn't know how serious it was. I didn't know what's real and what's not. Rashida's like, you didn't know what's real and what's not. Not with y'all lying asses, no. This family has rumors all over the place that are terrible. Okay, so yeah, Carly didn't know what was real and what wasn't. And even if she did, maybe she didn't want to get involved. Maybe she's not close to you as you thought. Rashida be on bullshit. And I'm sure she's going through it with her kids. And I don't want to negate or take away from the fact that as a parent, her son killed someone. You can call it self-defense and all of that. Her kids, the boy who did it, are going to have to live with the fact that they took the life. They took breath from somebody else's body when he could have simply called the police. Instead, he chose to shoot that man while his back is turned. Yes, they're saying it's self-defense because he was coming over there to defend his sister and himself, but he could have called the police. Let's call a spade a spade. So maybe Rashida needs to stop focusing on who's there for her or not and focus on getting her kids therapists so they can understand impulse control and when to shoot and when not to fucking shoot. Maybe that's what she should do. I'm just saying, maybe if you want the world to feel bad for your daughter, which we do, because Kelsey didn't deserve that. She was asleep in one of those videos I saw, and that guy came in and started whooping on her. She didn't deserve it. But Rashida's actions put her kids in a different situation. Now, we know since then, the son is not in jail, is not facing charges. Everything was written off as self-defense. But to use your kid's storyline as a reason to have a problem with someone on the cast that hasn't done nothing to you is foul. I also feel like to use your kid's storyline to get people to feel sorry for you when you've never felt sorry for anybody else when they're going through it. Foul. Be careful what you say about people because what you say could come back and bite you. And it looks like it did in some way. Unfortunately, you got her kids, but it looks like it did. But Rashida ends up walking away from Carly because Carly's like, but you didn't support my opening and you didn't support this. And Rashida was like, was I invited? And it's like, no, you weren't, bitch. You weren't invited because you're telling everyone you're not outside because of this situation. So I'm looking at Rashida like, girl, go somewhere. But we gonna put a pin in it and catch Shani's comment. She said the only reason Sierra checked on you is because she's beefing with Yandy. Period. Thank you. That is the only reason Sierra checked on her. It's because she was beefing with Yandy, literally. And Rashida went and was talking about Yandy and Mendices just happy that somebody else was being cheated on outside of her, even though Yandy's the reason your dumbass got a check, bitch. Your name don't show in the executive production credits, but Yandy does. But Rashida did all of that, had all that smoke for Yandy. And I'm looking and I'm just like, Rashida, it's not clicking to you that that's the only reason Sierra's, but I digress. Shani said that's right, because at one point, didn't Rashida and Kirk leave Scrappy hanging in the wind? Yep. And he was mad about it. They're horrible friends. Rashida and Kirk are horrible friends to other people, and a joke as it relates to a relationship, and a joke as it relates to Atlanta. I'm not from Atlanta, but if I was from a city and these people were claiming to be the ambassadors of it, I would have a problem. Okay? I would have a serious problem. But Rashida and Kirk, I'm not trying to be mean on them, y'all. And y'all could check me. I'm accountable. I'm not going to get mad or block your comments or nothing like that. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. But I just think that's why whenever I see people go through it, like my worst enemies, I never wish harm on nobody. Even if you my worst enemy, you went through DV, I won't say you deserved it. You're lying. Like, that's why you don't do what Rashida did. Because now you got people like my black ass coming on the internet wanting to fight her through the screen. Lord help us. What's poppin', Joy Reeves? Welcome in. I am happy to meet you. It looks like Joy Reeves is agreeing. I'm happy somebody agrees, because I be wondering, like, am I on the internet saying some shit to get me canceled? Am I off base? Like, I don't be knowing. But Rashida she made my motherfucking teeth itch. Okay, I'm not gonna curse. I said I'm gonna curse less on YouTube. I'm gonna do my best, y'all. But we put a pin in this to go back to Jessica and running around Sausalito. Fun fact, y'all. Sausalito, when Jessica said her man's family was from there, Sausalito is a part of Marin County here in California, which is where all of the rich white people that are kind of racist end up. And then also some of them are just rich. Marin County is bougie. They don't let the Bay Area subway center system connect there, which is BART. They don't want buses too much coming out there. They have their own transportation. Like, they're super sedity, super fancy out there. So when I saw that Jessica's family was there, I was like, oh, you're going to have some problems. What's poppin', Kiwan? Hi, Sugarfoot. Welcome in. Y'all subscribe to Kiwan. She covers this show as well. She probably has her review up already, because Kiwan be on it. She be on it. But tap into her channel. Tap in. I'm happy to see you, Kiwan. Joy Reeves said, yes, girl. I liked Rashida in the beginning, but now, yes, you're telling the truth. You're reading her down. I'm not trying to read her down, but it's like, girl, I loved Rashida in early seasons of Love and Hip Hop too. Loved Rashida. Loved her. I don't know what happened. I kind of wish she would stop, like maybe drop Kirk from the show if it were to continue. We know it's not. I would love to see Rashida without Kirk. Like, I miss the days when Erica Dixon was by her side knocking on hotel doors. Like, bring that back. Kiwa said, I was thinking the same thing about Rashida. That's why she scurried out of that scene from Carly. She didn't want to be accountable. Not yet. I gave notes and I'm going to cuss out Rashida in 24. As you should. Do Joy Reeves a problem. Do Joy Reeves a favor and read them down. Because Rashida has audacity. As women, we should uplift each other with certain things. Like, if any of my subscribers was to hit me up or come across my channel, like, I'm going through this, I would listen and genuinely be there for them. Like, some stuff, you just there for people. It's called being a decent human. And Rashida forgets that. And I'm a Gemini, and she makes us look really bad. We're not all that way, y'all. A good chunk of us are crazy, though. I'm not gonna lie, but we not all like Rashida. We are not. But Jessica and her little bald Asian man are having dinner at a very nice restaurant that I've been to that has really good pizza. Just want to say that. Don't judge me. I like to eat. But Jessica invites Bambi to have dinner with her man. and his family. And Bambi was like, I love this. You guys are so supportive of her. And I'm like, does Bambi know Jessica well enough to be at a dinner with her family? And no shade to Bambi. She got her own stuff going on. I like Bambi. I used to dislike Bambi so much because I saw her first on Basketball Wives LA. But I've actually grown to like Bambi a lot. And I'm looking at Bambi like, you just be showing up for your friends. I would love a friend like you, but my God. Now at the table, everything's going well. And I'm cracking up at the comments. I'm going to highlight them in a minute. Everything goes well until Bambi's like, so where are you guys going to raise this baby? Common question. Jessica's like, oh, bi-coastal, somewhere between New York and Paris. I said, bitch, didn't you just tell us when you met this man that you're still figuring out where you're going to live? Now you're suddenly saying New York and Paris. Is it because your friend came over and told you that your man was controlling and was holding you hostage? Because Jessica seemed okay with a lot of what was going on before. But when she says New York and Paris, the baby daddy acted surprised. He looked at her like, bitch, what? And Jessica's like, excuse me, I have to use the restroom. But she ran to the bar. And Bambi's like, I think I upset her, y'all. Let me get up. Let me go check on her. She goes and checks on her. They have this discussion. And pretty much like we all knew, because I'm going to say this, and let me know if y'all agree. Any woman that willfully dates Nick Cannon, knowing that he has a tree of other hoes, girlfriends, and children, something ain't clicking. What did New York's mom say in Flavor of Love? What's not clicking? Like, that's literally where I'm at with Jessica White. She's successful and is known for other things, unlike Nick Cannon's other baby mamas, but she was still trying to be one of them. So I always say, if you make decisions like that with love, then you probably need some therapy, and there's probably something you went through that skewed your view of how a relationship would be. And I feel like Jessica is easy to skew. And I feel like she looked down on her family for their choices, because she made a comment talking to Bambi. She was like, you know, she wants to be with her man. She wants to have this baby, but she feels like she's going to lose herself like the other women in her family who had kids. And I'm like, wait a second, Jessica, because you said a lot of the women in your family were like single moms and stuff. Like, being a single parent to me looks different than being a parent that has full-time help in the house with you, because, you know, you have help. It should be a little easier. But what did you see that made you to where you're like, you don't want to compromise yourself? And when you have a kid, correct me if I'm wrong, you have to be willing to compromise with yourself and make the sacrifice for yourself for the betterment of your kid. Sometimes the sacrifice that's for the betterment of your kid may be for them having a stable place to live and to be while you travel. I get wanting to have your baby with you all the time on your hip, but even Kim Kardashian leave her kids at home sometime. Now that they older, she traveled with them. But when she was having her baby, she had to leave them at home with sitters and nannies and Kanye. God help us. But I mean, she had to do what she had to do. So I'm looking at Jessica like, girl, compromise for your man. And Bambi tried to talk to them and get them to see it, but compromise for your man. And Bambi, maybe let her figure it out. I didn't like that. It could be because I'm married, but if I'm having an issue with my man, I don't argue with my man in front of people. But if I'm having an issue with my man, like, I don't need my friends to jump in. No shade, especially my divorced friends. If you've not been married for 25 plus years and still all over your spouse and they licking the toes that you walk with, I don't, respectfully, please butt out. I'm just, just butt out. But let me get these comments, because I was looking at Jessica like, what is this crash out for? What is this, Jessica? Child, I don't understand it. Lord, Joy Reeves, my reads will be for you. Kiwan is funny. I enjoy it. Gemini Twin, hey, it's almost our season. We got to acknowledge these lion ass Aries first, but it's almost our season. My dad's an Aries too, but he don't lie to me, but shout out to Aries, y'all. And then Taurus, James's birthday is on the 25th of next month. But big Gemini, not the little one. I love it. See, we're great. The normal ones, we just keep to ourselves. That's the problem. Not a lavender, bald, Asian controlling man. Yeah, because I'm gonna tell y'all something about the Asian men in the Bay. Aside from skin complexion, you would think that they black. Okay, just Google a neighborhood called Funktown, California, in Oakland. Okay, the Asian men out here be they be damn near black. I'd be surprised. Lord help us. She called him Lavender, though. I'm hollering. That would have been a normal question for a normal person. Jessica, yeah, she is. You right. You right. That's a good thing because if anyone else would have asked that question at a dinner that Bambi asked, no, nothing would have happened. They just would have been like, "Oh, we're still figuring it out," or "We're, we have time. We're just trying to get through the pregnancy." She could have said anything, but this bitch, New York, Paris, huh? I heard that New York was dealing with a mass amount of people moving out of New York because they want to have kids. But okay, Jessica, put your kid in PS1, whatever. Isn't that what they call the schools out there? I had a cousin who got in trouble at a school in New York, and I just remember seeing the document, PS something, your child suspended. Hi, Courtney. Good evening. You must not be working today. Hello, hello, hello to our cousins in the chat. Oh, the last thing from this foolish show. I'm going to do my best, y'all, but we got to read Rashida again. Bubblegum. It's funny. If you listen to the lyrics of Bubblegum, everything she said in that song was opposite of what her lyrics were because the bubblegum was not sticky enough to keep him in the house, sis. But I'm going to digress. Rashida's reversing that whack ass song Bubblegum that I enjoyed when I was 16 years old. And next thing you know, because she's rehearsing for the One Music Fest. I remember she posted, I feel bad now a little bit, y'all, because Rashida had posted this video of her rehearsing a couple months back. And the way that the comments read her for filth about even trying to perform made me laugh a little bit. And then to see that she broke down afterward about her kids, I said, "Oh, Shawty, you hurt, ain't you?" Well, maybe you ought to be more empathetic, bitch, because you are. She was up there. And the song, it don't call for all of that. I was just saying before you join Kiwan, all you got to do the bubble gum. That's all we used to do in the Bay. We used to pop our collars to it. I mean, but that's it. It was like an intermission song. Go get you some soda, a coffee, roll up a blunt. Nothing too serious. That was back when we was young as hell. Lord help us. And we didn't have taste of music. Shani said, how old was she when she did that bubblegum song? Like 35. Rashida's much younger than Kirk and keeps her age a secret. She's probably, I don't even know. Let me Google how old is Rashida Frost and see what Google give me. She's 49 years old. She's 49 years old. Singing about some damn bubblegum. So when that song came out, Rashida was 20. Wait, when did Bubblegum come out? That was 2007, 17. Ooh, shit. That was almost 20 years ago. Oh, I'm old. Oh, God. I am old. So if she is 49 today, ooh, she was 20-something singing about Bubblegum. That was a different time in music, though. A lot of stuff back then did sound like that. All the beats, I don't like the song. James used to play that song out, though. I am calling him out. James is at work. For those who don't know, we usually do our Love and Hip Hop reviews with James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. He did get called in to work for mandatory overtime, but he should be back on the channel tomorrow. I'm hoping his job does like weeks for overtime where one person gets called for the full week. But we'll for sure be live on our other channel, Watch Your Best Friends. We're going to do a live on zodiac signs and things. We'll be live on that channel this Saturday. James will be live for sure on Sunday. And then I will be doing the Housewives of Rhode Island and the Housewives of Beverly Hills with him as well. We will see how it goes with them clear women. Y'all remember social media was in an uproar about going to see Rashida in concert? Yes. Because she got that one song, baby. She got that one song. Just the one. They say, we miss you, James. He getting that money, though. He getting that good OT. Okay? That fool started work at 6 p.m. and he gets off at 7 a.m. Oh, he'll be fine. He tired as hell now. I told him, you better get that good caffeine and work it out. And when your check come, you're going to be smiling from ear to ear, quite literally. Better get that money. Right. She said, make that money, James. Don't let it make you. Ooh, child. Kirk is 57. Yes. Yes, Joy. Do you see, girl, why there was problems and controversy around Rashida and Kirk even being together? Because if he was 57 and she's 49, let's do the math. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. But he been with her, he say, since like the 90s. But in the 90s, she was a teenager and he was very much so grown. So as I always say, I be looking at Kirk like a nasty ass pervert sometimes. Because why were you with somebody so young? And I understand that people date in age gaps, but personally, if you under the age of 25 and you dating somebody more than 10 years younger than you, you don't know what you're doing, and you're probably being manipulated in all sorts of ways. She's 43. Ooh, that's even worse. Jesus, my Google says she's 49. That don't help none, Joy. Ooh. And they left his perverted ass on TV. Okay. The rest of us got a host. Leave us alone. Kiwan says, show a little leg. Take it right back. I cannot. Yeah, James speaks about this pretty often on our lives. The age gap between Rashida and Kirk is questionable in like a barely legal type of way. And then Rashida, I believe it was I had watched something on them, a deep dive on YouTube. I'm gonna see if I can find it and share it with you guys. But it was a video basically speaking on like their past and all of that. And she was into modeling and moved there because I think she was originally from somewhere else, not even Atlanta. Like she came to Atlanta after her mom got her into modeling really young. And they're from like, I think the Midwest or something. But she should have never got with nobody that old. And that's the thing. Everyone wonders her birth year, Shani. It's kind of a mystery. And I think she keeps it private because of how she got with Kirk. But if you Google how old is Rashida Frost, it says her birth date is May 25th, 1976, which would make her 49 years old. But she's been active in the industry and with Kirk since 98. So, ooh, the math is not mathing. That's terrible. Rashida Frost was born May 25th. Where did you get 1982? She's currently 43 years old as of April 2nd. Kirk Frost was born. That's worse. That is worse. That's even worse. That's over. And they've been together since like 90 something. Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. But maybe that was a thing in the 90s. I was a child in the 90s. I was running around with Play-Doh and, looking out for the street lights to know when to go back home. So I wasn't fully aware of stuff, but it seems like a lot of couples in the 90s, like Brandy and Wanye from Boyz II Men, that relationship always questionable. But apparently they got away with it. Now Brandy's coming out and she's looking back like, I shouldn't have been allowed to do that. I shouldn't have been allowed to do that. So I don't know. Maybe in the 90s, people were more accepting of that. And then also we have to remember in some states, I believe Georgia's one of them, the legal age for consent is 16. There are still states in the US, quite a few, where you can get married as young as 16 without the issues or permission from your parents. I said, ain't no way that anybody will want to do that. That's crazy. Yes, please like the live. She said my dog is doing her best work and trying not to cuss, especially on this raggedy show. Can you tell if I get better, Miss Erica? If I get better at the cursing, I'll be trying to watch my mouth. I really do, because I'm close to monetizing, and I'm also have a little personal goal trying to be a better Christian. So cursing for me is like a small little goal I'm trying to work on. I'm failing, but I'm gonna keep trying, y'all. I'm gonna keep trying. I love Joy Reeves. Please come back to our chats whenever you can, because the way you broke it down and got the information, because I can only do so much while trying to be on run the live stream. I appreciate it. But Rashida cries about her kids. She breaks down. Rashida, what are we supposed to do with your tears about your kids? We can wish them well. We'll offer them prayers. What else am I supposed to say about this scene? And Carly's like, well, if I would have known, I would have supported you more. That's all you could say, Carly. That's all you could say. It's looking like Rashida took out her frustration and stuff on Carly Red because she was there. Geminis are analytical. We think about everything that we do. We do think before we react. And even though we react like fools sometimes, there has been thought put into that reaction. So I'm sure that Rashida put thought into her reaction. I'm just sure that she did. I'm sorry she's going through what she's going through, and I'm sure that she feels a way for her son. I can't imagine my son being like, I killed someone before my sister. I can imagine how that would feel. That's a hard place to be as a parent and as someone who loves the person, but what are we supposed to do when just last season Rashida was talking shit about Yandy's marriage and happy that was breaking up, and now look at you. That's why I'm like, Rashida and Kirk should not do reality TV, because the problem is, to do reality TV, everyone usually takes turns with their shit stanking. We see it across all shows on all networks. But when you're so much of a hypocrite and you have a big opinion that's negative, biased, and untrue about most of the people you've come in contact with on this show, now you expect for us to be empathetic. And I'm not, especially knowing that her son got off. I am not empathetic to her at all. I respect her son for defending his sister, but I hope that they took his gun away, because, I mean, we don't want him to do it again. We don't want him to do it again. Rashida needs to leave because she's not giving anything, nor do she show up. Right. And then when she does show up, all we can talk about is the hypocrisy, the contradictions, and the audacity. Okay. That's all we can talk about. Meanwhile, K. Michelle's getting the salary that it took Rashida to get for 14 seasons of Love and Hip Hop. K. Michelle about to get that salary in just one season of Housewives of Atlanta. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Joy. She said, you get what you give. Yep. You get what you give. You are what you attract. All of that. You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. Coming at us with the wisdom in this chat. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's all it is. She's getting what she deserves. Courtney said it. Yeah, her, Kirk, and his 3 earrings can go. Okay, Courtney. Is he still wearing them 3 earrings? I wish I had a piano, because I would play K. Michelle's. When she sang that song about Kirk, Lord help us, when she called him a prude, I loved it. And she sang that thing publicly too. My son has a sister, and he knows if she calls him saying, my boyfriend beat me up, my son better be like, you better call 911, girl, or you need me to call them for you. Tariq is smart. Your son is smart, though. It seems like he has a good head on his shoulders, probably because his mom is fabulous. But that, come on now. If my husband ever did anything, there are certain family members I would not call. And that's another thing that Rashida probably doesn't want us to talk about. Like, if I call certain cousins, like if I call my cousin Rob or my cousin Trey, if something happens, something gonna happen. And it's not gonna be good. And then I'm gonna probably be crossing that Richmond Bridge to San Quentin to go visit. I ain't got time. So it's like, I also feel like when you go through things, DV or not, you got to be careful and know who to call. Because some people will be like, you play with my sister, I'm about to shoot you. Other people will be like, you play with my sister, I'm going to whoop your ass. Other people might refer you to a marriage and family therapist. But, you know, I agree with that, Shani. Call 911. Don't be calling me for the bullshit once you get so old. They should have left it to the blogs and off the show. This part. Yes, Joy. I think not everything. I always say this, and people think I'm weird for saying it because they're like, you're a content creator. You need the show for the content. Yes, I do. But I'm also a mental health worker first, in graduate school, working towards and do social work daily. Like, I just feel like not everything is for TV. We can be entertained without having to discuss like what happened with Rashida's kids. We can be entertained without having to see certain things. Like, it is good, as Karen Huger told Wendy, to shut the fuck up sometimes. It is. It absolutely is, because nothing can come out of it. All people can do is gossip and yip yap and, you know, chit chat amongst each other until the case is settled. She should not have done the show. But now the case is settled, and now we have an even bigger opinion. But the hell can we do, y'all? Every time Rashida go against a woman, her karma Courtney, her karma be so fast. The biggest, they spin the block so fast. I mean, karma don't even leave the block with Rashida. Karma pulls out of the driveway and says, yep, this bitch always saying something. I'm gonna have to pull right back into the garage. That's what karma does with Rashida, because every time she does something to someone, something happens. Every single time. And maybe she'll learn, but I think that her and Kirk in their mind really think they are Atlanta. And I'd like to remind everyone that Rashida was born in Decatur, Georgia, and later went off elsewhere to be raised, came to Atlanta later. And Kirk is from New York, okay? So they ain't even from Atlanta talking about, oh, I am from Atlanta, all of this. I just cannot. Karma will still be beside her, just waiting and watching and lurking. Karma's always around all of us, just waiting on all of us to play with the church's money, as quiet as it's kept. That's literally what it is. That's why I be like, even when no one's looking, I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna do the right thing, except when I'm at the self checkout at Walmart sometimes. But I'm gonna do the right thing in every other situation. I swear to you. I swear to you. But that was really it, you guys, for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This episode was like, it made for good conversation because there was a lot to talk about because Rashida has audacity bigger than my titties, but they can go. They can leave the show. And I know this is the last season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I'm wondering if MTV will give them like a proper series ending or anything like that. Also, oh, this part, Kiwan. Let them know. Y'all subscribe to Miss Kiwan's channel, Kiwan JTV. Please subscribe to her channel. She has reached 800 subscribers. I'm very, very happy for you, Kiwan. Also proud of you because you put out content. I don't know where the hell you be finding the time to put out content, but Kiwan puts out content for so many shows, scripted and reality TV shows. She says she's also considering documentaries. Subscribe. Please do. Please subscribe. Let me see. We need a reunion for the last time. I don't know why they would get rid of the reunion, especially when MTV is usually good for a reunion. I feel like James was right in that MTV didn't want to put the money into this show because of what the cast looked like. But we definitely need a reunion because I feel like Love and Hip Hop don't hit the same because we're not getting the reunion, which is usually when you get to see if people are accountable and you get to see how people react. Like, getting rid of the reunions, I think, is kind of negative toward the show, but you know, they ain't gonna listen. And a reunion for the last time, if they do one, y'all better drag Rashida and Kirk and everybody on the show who think they somebody who's not somebody. And I want them to bring up that this show was Yandy's idea in front of Rashida and Kirk so that they can understand that. Just need them to do that. I appreciate you, Kiwan. I appreciate you. I was just watching one of your episode 14 that you did for Beauty and Black. See, I didn't have time. I did my Beauty and Blacks in double episodes, but I was just watching yours because I love Beauty and Black, y'all. I love Beauty and Black. I'm trying to tell you. Somebody do the BTS documentary. Where is it? If you tell me where it is, I'll cover it. I don't mind. Kiwan, you want to join? You want to practice these documentary reviews with me? Please, Erica. But let me know where that documentary airs, Shani. I will definitely look into it. For everybody who does not know, if there is a show that you would like me to cover on my channel, I am totally open to it. I'm trying to gain more shows. Let me know. BTS isn't that K-pop group? Or am I tripping? Am I getting that wrong? The K-pop group, I thought. Lord. I'm gonna look it up, Shani. Shani, don't go silent on me now. I need to know where the documentary can be watched. But I guess since we're still here, let's get into, we're done with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The next review I will have, and yes, I made a schedule. Is it on Netflix, Shani? Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Paramount Plus? Don't ask me why, but I have them all. But I get HBO Max for free through my cell phone provider. Thank God. It's the least they could do. I need to switch to T-Mobile so I can get Netflix for free, but I'm going to digress. But yeah, I'll look into the documentary, Shani. I actually listen to a lot of K-pop. Love K-pop. Not too much BTS, but I know that they had to pause their career at one point because in South Korea, everyone has a duty to enlist, like all of the men and stuff. So there's that. Let's see. Joy said Rashida's in full denial. Kirk just big for nothing. I mean, he's a good dad. According to Rashida, he's a good dad. And yeah, he still wears 3 years. I don't know how good of a father you can be when you have so many different baby mamas. How good of a dad are you that while you have one kid that was just born, you decide to go and have a baby and keep it a secret from your kids. Because remember, when he had that baby with Jasmine, he was hiding her in an apartment and calling it an office. I said, Rashida, you dumb as hell. If you thought that an apartment was an office, offices say suite number, not APT. She tried it that season. Lord help us. Kirk ain't no good dad. Good dads don't do what he did. I'm not sure where it's at. I'll look it up. It's okay, Shani. There's a feature on our little smart TV in the house. My husband showed me how to do it. We could click it and like type in whatever show or movie, and it'll show us where it's playing, all the apps and stuff. Speaking of movies, the Michael Jackson movie is coming out, y'all. I know that has nothing to do with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but I am excited. I have got my tickets. I was very big, still am a very big MJ fan, so I'm excited as hell for this movie that I'm hoping they don't mess up. Shani said, yes, they have all done their enlistment and they have all been released, and they came out with their new album, and they were just on Jimmy Fallon last week, I believe it was. Oh, that documentary is on Netflix. It's on my list. I'm going to check with Kiwan and see if she wants to join in on it after this live. What is next on this channel? What day is it today? Hump day? Is today Wednesday? What's the iPhone say? Today is Wednesday, April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. Rent is due today, so I'm too old to play a trick on anybody. But happy April Fool's Day to those who celebrate. She said, girl, what did he for me was he swabbed Rashida's son. I forgot about that. That is horrible. That is horrible. I forgot about that. Okay, now I don't feel bad for anything I said. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Joy. That's why I love Geminis. We don't never forget. I have a lot of Gemini subscribers too. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to us because we love us. Nobody else does. People be scared. I tell them I'm a Gemini. They be like, oh, and you're friendly? It's like, yeah, I'm friendly. Geminis are charismatic until you give us a reason not to be. So if you ever have a bad experience with the Gemini, unfortunately, it's likely your own fault. Today is Wednesday and nothing is on. You are correct. Today is Wednesday, nothing's on. Tomorrow on our live, there is something coming on tonight. I don't know if you guys care. It's a different network. Bravo's The Valley is back. That is the spin-off from Vanderpump Rules, the original, not that weak shit they just aired on Bravo. But we will be going live tomorrow, hopefully with James, for Bravo's The Valley. And that will be, according to my schedule, at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm trying not to start my lives past 6 o'clock because I know that most of my audience is on the East Coast. Shout out to everybody on the East Coast. I'm here in California, just stressed out and being priced out. But I'm trying to get those lives out to you. So tomorrow we'll do The Valley. And then Friday, we're going to have Ladies of London drop that review, as well as the Housewives of Beverly Hills and the Housewives of Rhode Island. And Saturday, love, we will have a live on me and James's joint channel, which is called the Watch Your Best Friends channel. The live will be titled Zodiac Signs and Dating and Who's the Problem. We're just going to go over zodiac signs and things of that nature. If anybody wants to join in on that live, let me know. Other than that, y'all, that's all I got for tonight. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have become my friends here on YouTube because I don't like going outside because niggas is ignorant. But I appreciate everybody for watching. Shout out to our replay gang. Welcome to all of our new subscribers. Whether you comment or don't, however you watch, you are appreciated. You keep the channel going. And as my channel grows, I will improve, get more stuff out for you guys. She said any other sign other than the Gemini is the problem. Lord, there's a lot of signs that are problematic. I think Scorpios are more problematic. I think Aquariuses are problematic, but I digress. But that's really it, you guys, for today. I will see you guys again tomorrow on my channel. I might also get some bonus content out. Please also check out the vlog that my husband put up, Also B3ST. Also, be sure to stream Also Best. That's Also B3ST on all platforms. You can listen to his music free on YouTube. I did a song with him. And you know what? I might do another song with him again because I do sing a little bit. We shall see. But stream bon voyage, peace and love to everybody, thug life, and I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Au revoir.